Hey everyone, I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to wake the world up to what's possible. And here today to help me do that is the Badass Writers Contest first place winner, Lisa Roche. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
You are, yes.
Okay, good. I read that and I'm like, oh, I should have asked her that first. Lisa, I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. Thrilled.
So you guys, Lisa is an expert psychic Reiki master teacher specializing in soul healing. She's the co-founder of Spirit Calling, a sought-after safe online resource and space to guide you through your spiritual awakening with ease, autonomy, and empowerment. I have recently joined Spirit Calling and am getting to know Lisa better and better, but she's also been writing for Brave Healer Productions, and I have so many questions for you today. So people are going to have to come over to the blog and read your entry, right, to get the whole amazing story. But give us the Cliff Notes version. Like, what was the biggest aha of what you went through, what you were sharing with us?
Oh my gosh. All right. So the biggest aha was basically what you experience in your physical body is not just physical. That would be the biggest aha. That our bodies respond to the energy that's moving through them. It responds to the emotions that get held as the energy that fills our cells and runs through our entire being. And where does that get held? Where does it get stuck? That's probably the biggest takeaway. Where does it get stuck? And for me, it was the culmination of was my atlas. Where did it get stuck? The end point where it broke me and I couldn't do anything more, that would have been my atlas. So my goal is to actually get people to recognize where energy is getting stuck and to open up flow before they get taken down. That's my goal.
Okay, as a total anatomy geek, you know I loved your talk about the bones, right? Because I'm in background of physical therapy, the axis, the atlas, it's the bone that connects your neck to your head. It's way up in there next to your brain, you guys.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're gonna have to come over and read the whole story about what she's talking about and her moments and all of that good stuff. But I love the anatomy. I love, love, love it. And
me too. I'm an anatomy geek as well.
Yeah, and this thing you started off talking about today is a huge potatoes thing. Like what you're feeling is not just physical.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What else do you want to say about that? Yeah.
As an anatomy geek, I really wanted to drill down. And as I've gained some understanding about how the human body works in unison with your spirit and the mind-body connection, mind-body-spirit connection, it's a question of what events are held up back there for me, what emotion was held up back there. And what I started to learn when I really dug in and started to research the atlas, it wasn't just the bone that fascinated me. The fact that the brainstem runs through there and both of your major arteries up your neck go in there, right? Your vagus nerve travels through there. Your vagus nerve, the thing that regulates your entire body, runs right through there. So if you have a bone that like clamps down and then twists it, what do you think's going to happen? Right? It was just kind of from there, kind of like common sense to me to just keep pulling at that thread. Well, what more? What more? What more? What more? If it's my vagus nerve, what is that? What does that entail? And what does that make my body feel? Well, it means that your adrenal system is completely shot. And it means that your digestive system suffers. And brain fog, the way you process things, the way your immune system works, everything suffers. So for me, it was, okay, the atlas was the starting point. Now where can we go from there? Through the physicality, which then led me to the emotional and then energetic aspects of it.
Oh, when somebody gets to hear your story, they're going, you're helping people every single time you share this story. And you know what I'm all about in terms of like sharing what's going
Yep.
on.
You're gonna make me
But
cry.
I mean, it's that big of a deal to me. Somebody's going to hear this and go, oh my gosh, I've been having, and it's like I just see these little lights sparking all over the place when we get to read your brave words. So you are also an author in one of our upcoming collaborations, and I'm excited for everyone to read more than just the blog writing. But tell us how this process of writing has been for you. Have you always been a writer?
Oh my gosh. Like a secret writer? Yes.
Yes.
Right. I love writing. I loved keeping a journal throughout like my entire childhood and adulthood. I have kept typed journals. So I love to journal. And I would say a couple years ago, you know how the universe works and it sends you people and it tells you to do things. And so a couple years ago, people were saying you should really share your story. You should really share what happened to you. I went through 9 months of deteriorating, debilitating hell in terms of my health. And to come out the other side of it, see, this is when I cry. It's very overwhelming to come out the other side of it and not just be living a good life, but to actually be thriving in my life better than when I was in my 40s, better than I was in my 30s, better than my 20s, right?
Yeah.
To know that I am in the process of healing and have like cleaned out the queue of my crap and trauma, and to be on that other side is absolutely incredible. It's freeing. It's inspiring for me. Every day I wake up and I am inspired by how much I have learned, how much I have grown, how much I have shed. So a couple years ago, somebody said, maybe you should start telling your story. So in a series of Instagram posts, I gave like a very precursory, no deep dive, no, it was like a captain's log, very factual and not a whole lot of sharing my heart. So this process has been really soul searching, right? I mean, what you bring out and what you require of your readers, or at least from my perspective, was to reach deep down inside, grab all the truth, and pull that out, put it on paper, and express it. And that has been unbelievable. It makes my skin tingle. It gives me chills. It's been absolutely unbelievable. It puts my hair on end. Freeing, freeing. If I have to pick one word, freeing.
I love that word. You're giving me the goosebumps back as you talk about it. Thank you for expressing that. I know our authors, including you, are other level warriors, and they are stepping up to the task. And I thank you for doing that. And your blog was a perfect example of, when I started the contest, it was like, you guys make us feel something and write it in a way that we're with you and we just
Yeah.
can't put it down, right? And I love how you all are doing that, and your piece was that for me. So I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank
But I appreciate you talking about the writing process. And I was the secret journaler for many, many years
you.
before I got brave
Closet
enough.
journaling.
Totally. So, in your story, you talk about hearing God. The message was, quote, ask for help and help will come. Have faith, have hope. Do you accept?
Yeah.
And I know that you've enhanced that communication process since that happened to you. And I'm wondering if you would give our listeners some ideas about connecting to their higher power or inner healer. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah. so many of us are told to find silence, strive for silence, quiet everything so that you can find truth, quiet down, make everything as still and as silent as possible. And I think that that does us a disservice, because God, spirit, love, light, whatever you want to call your higher power, has to make its way into your conscious mind. Otherwise, you don't believe it. So when you have a thought, and you can tell the difference, if it's a thought in judgment, oh, you're so stupid, why would anybody write that? Why would anybody listen to that? Why would anybody read it? Then you can say, oh, that's just my fear talking, because fear will always talk in a negative voice, right? But when you hear a voice that says, yeah, write that, that just made my heart crack open. That brings a tear to my eye. That's the voice. You may think that's coming from your head. It's not. It's coming from your heart. God speaks to you through your heart. Your higher self speaks through your heart. It's the things that make you shake and tell you to take a chance. Look for that voice, the voice that's telling you, put your fear aside and step into that. Take a chance.
So Lisa is talking about really, I think, a higher level of awareness and discernment right now. And if you all are really listening, I hope you are listening to being able to discern between those two kinds of voices she's talking about. This is one of my favorite topics ever, because of the game-changing way it allowed me to decide on things in my life.
Yes,
And
yes.
doesn't it sound so simple to you? Well, the fear voice is going to be negative, and this other voice is about love. So it's
Simple.
positive.
Yes, not easy, simple.
Well, right. So I know not everybody just bam can do it. We
Yes,
get caught up in a little bit of muck in between. What's Talk about this
for
more with
sure.
me. Yeah. What else do you
Yeah, for
want people to
sure.
know?
So I always say it's simple, right? It's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy because we've been programmed to live in and respond to fear. It's how the human body works. We are fear machines. Avoid things that cause damage, avoid things that will hurt us. It starts with fire is hot, right?
Yeah.
Avoid the things that make you afraid. So in your attempt to avoid, you wind up locking yourself down in fear, right? Well, now I'm afraid to feel fear, so I won't feel anything. So you shut down. So to go about your life in trust and in faith, to move forward in faith, is really, really frightening. And we've been conditioned that feeling frightened is a bad thing. The human body responds in the exact same way, same exact chemical reaction between fear and excitement, right? It's the exact same response. There's that vagus nerve again. The adrenaline pumps, the vagus nerve fires off, your brain fires off. But it's your conscious level thinking that has to interrupt that signaling and say, wait a second, does this feel like I'm moving forward in faith, or does this feel like I'm moving forward in fear? Right now, for me, this is a perfect example. Right here, right now, doing interviews scares the living daylights out of me. I'm over here filled with adrenaline right now, waiting for my spirit and my soul to settle into this space. And it's my conscious mind that is saying, this is moving forward in faith. This is opening yourself up and expanding and connecting with many more people. I'm very aware of that. I could jump off screen right now and say, I'm done, right? I'm really
Right.
scared. I'm just
See
going to
ya.
go off. See ya, I'm done. Stop. But I won't. I will absolutely push through this, because I know the difference between the voice in my head that says, this is really frightening, versus the voice in my head that says, oh my God, this is so good for your soul.
Well, again, one of my favorite topics. Maybe you all know I wrote an entire book about this topic called How to Have Fun with Your Fear. So go to Amazon now. I get to plug myself today because Lisa's talking about it. Yeah, why not? And speaking of plugging, tell us all about Spirit Calling.
Oh, what started as a passion project. So in my journey, of this practice of listening to my soul and following the voice of God, guiding me to serve consistently, continuously, stepping up and challenging me. What more can you do? And what more can you do? One day, truly, I woke up with that voice telling me, create a portal, create a portal. It is a portal for purpose. It is a portal for peace, because that is my purpose. My purpose is to create a world of peace. And so Spirit Calling is this beautiful collaboration with my business partner, Pamela, both of us with the exact same calling to connect everyone in the world as they are waking up to and remembering that they are a soul-driven, soul purpose person. So we offer online education, community, tools, insight, support to lift everybody up and support you as you get comfortable in this shift from living in fear to living in faith.
I'm like waiting for more. Like, yeah, I'm like writing something down. I'm like, give me more, give me more. Yeah. So I love that. Well, I love everything you're about. And I think the biggest thing for me is it's really important to come together in community with like-minded, heart-centered souls who really get the language. In the publishing industry, I've been known to be the translator of healer speak. And it's
good at it.
well, and it's important, right?
Yes.
But then on the other side of that, because one of my missions is really to help people who aren't in that language understand the possibilities, right? But aside from that, we have to be able to speak with each other, with other people who 100% like they are used to hearing about past lives. They're used to hearing about dragons and aliens, and they're used to hearing about all of the things
all the things.
Yeah. And that's, you know what? That's fun. And who knows what we don't know in
Well,
this
that's
life.
just it.
Yeah.
I am not arrogant enough to think I know everything, or that I'm the only being. Like, I think that's absurd. To me, that's absurd.
Yeah.
So I am open. I'm always open to learning new things, exploring new things, connecting with new people. And I think it's just so important to be empowered in your life, empowered in your journey. I call it the healing journey, because we've got all this garbage and baggage that we're trying to heal so that we can move forward. So on your healing journey, as you're discovering, you want to connect with other people so that you don't feel like alone, so that you're not journaling in secret, right? You're actually among other people who connect with you and understand and say you're accepted for whoever you are. I think that's so important, to sort of take the focus away from what makes us so different and put the focus on what makes us all the same, regardless of your personal thoughts and beliefs. We are all the same. We are all souls brought onto this planet to participate in a human experience. Let's get to that. Stop with the differences, because it's who cares, and get to what makes us all connected. That's for me, that's the most important part. And that's the crux of spirit calling is connecting all of these lights, all of these individual souls, bringing it together and allowing people this safe space to embrace who they are, where they are, and live in truth. And as you're supported in love, gosh, then you just want to go out and you want to share that. I mean, I tell people it's like smiling. If you go outside, you walk down the street, you smile at someone, first, they're going to think you're nuts because who does that anymore? But then second, they go, oh my God, someone just genuinely smiled at me. That's your energy exchange, right? And now they're just like bewildered as they walk past you with a goofy smile on their face going, I can't believe someone just smiled at me. Did they think I was pretty? Did they think I was goofy? Did they think I was weird? Right? But no, they smiled. And as they're crossing the path with somebody else, they see their smile. And now it keeps continuing. It's that love, that connection, that energy. It could be for a split second, but you've just amplified how much love you're putting out into the world.
That's beautiful. And it's nice when we take responsibility for how we're showing up, even just walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I think you summed up the healing journey a few minutes ago when you said, I'm clearing the queue of crap for myself.
I really am. And that's me being censored.
I get, yeah, I love an F-bomb or two now and again, but clearing the queue of crap. I also love that alliteration because I'm a poet and I'm addicted to that too. So spirit calling, you guys, and of course I have everybody hooked up down below in the show notes with Lisa's websites and where you can get with her next, so please go explore and see what she's up to, because her and her partner at Spirit Calling are doing some pretty awesome things in the world. Lisa, any last words today, what you want the listeners to walk away with today in terms of maybe a small movement in the right direction if they're having kind of a crappy day?
Yeah. So anybody who works with me, I'm infamous for giving homework. I love giving homework because homework is always in self-service. So a really good one that everybody can do is just to take, even if it's 10 seconds to place your hand on your heart and ask yourself what you need. What do you need? It could be something really silly, everybody. It could be, I need a scoop of peanut butter. I need to take a bubble bath. I need to ignore the person sitting next to me, right? It could be something really ridiculous. I need to go for a walk. I need to go smell a flower. I need to see the color purple, right? And whatever that is, it's coming from your heart. It's coming from your soul. It's coming from your higher power, your higher self. Deliver on that. Show up for that. Show up for yourself, because that's how you start making that connection to your soul. Does this resonate with me? Does this feel good? If it doesn't, don't do it. If it does, go do it. It's truly that simple. And then the other big piece of advice is, so many of us are told to go chase happiness. What makes you happy, right? I'm going to ask you to sort of flip that upside down. And instead of chasing happiness, which is all that happiness, ecstasy, glee, all of that, passion, it's on the opposite swing of the pendulum from depressed, anxious. Go for the middle. What brings you peace? You will be happy if you are at peace. You will not be anxious if you are at peace. If you're just constantly, consistently showing up for yourself and then constantly and consistently seeking out peace, that's a really good place to start.
I love that advice. Beautiful. Lisa, thank you so much for what you do in the world and for being here today to share it with everyone.
Thank you so, so, so much. I welcome everybody to come on over to Spirit Calling. Join the group. I keep wanting to say join the movement, but I guess it is. I guess it is. If you want to change the world, it's a movement, isn't it?
Definitely. I've been calling it a revolution over here at Brave Healers. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys. So, couple things. You can read Lisa's whole blog, her award-winning blog. I've got you hooked up down below. The websites are there as well. So please take a little exploration. Click on the website, find out more about Lisa, read her blog, leave a comment, and let us know what's up in your world about the different things that we've been talking about today. And maybe you all have a story to share with the world. So we here at Brave Healer Productions are here to help you share that in a bigger way. Come on over to bravehealer.com and connect with us. And lastly today, everybody, I want you to remember, you were born, so you are worthy. Your message matters. What if the thing you're still a little afraid to share is exactly what someone needs to hear to change or even save their life? It is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone. Bye, Lisa.